It was simply a case of use or be used, be the manipulator or the victim. And Tristan Romero would never be a victim again. Down below, Lily Alexander slipped through the crowds of people in their spectacular costumes as if in a dream. The champagne in her hand was vintage. The silk, Grecian-style dress she wore was designer. And the stretch of grass beneath her bare feet was, at that moment, just about the most enviable place to be on the planet. So why did she feel as if something was missing? There was a saying on the London modelling circuit. There are 3 things that money can't buy: love, happiness, and an invitation to the Stowell annual costume ball. Magical was the word people used to describe it, in tones of wistful reverence. Lily was unutterably privileged to be here, as she told herself for about the 40th time that evening, blotting out the dissatisfied little voice that answered, "But where's the magic? Surely there has to be more to life than this." A shadow passed across the dipping sun, darkening the extravagant pink and gold evening. Walking across the lawn in search of Scarlet, Lily was aware of a throbbing in her head, a steady, rhythmic pulsing, like a second heartbeat, which only seemed to intensify her edginess. This year, the theme of the party was myths and legends, and as the sun cast long shadows across the grass, silken-clad girls with elaborate, shimmering fairy wings were mingling with Greek gods and screen icons. Several large marquees stood around the fringes of the lawn, with a space in the centre, where, according to Scarlet, a troupe of semi-naked stunt riders were going to perform later. On unicorns, apparently. A warm breeze was stirring the leaves of the stately horse-chestnut trees, making them bend and sigh. By this time tomorrow, she'd be half a world away in the arid heart of Africa, and all of this would seem more like a dream than ever if that were possible. Perhaps it was normal to feel like this just before a trip like the one she was about to embark on. She was branching out from the safe confines of the shallow, superficial life and plunging straight into the depths of a world that, until now, she had only read about in the papers and seen on TV news reports. Being nervous was probably completely understandable. Except that nervous didn't quite describe the feeling she had. Restless. The word flashed into her head from nowhere, echoing round it, amplified by the throbbing that was growing louder all the time. She tipped her head back, suddenly aware that the evening air held a kind of tension, a pulsing energy that resonated inside her, filling her with a sense of anticipation. A helicopter was suspended high above, and, mesmerized, she watched its blades slicing through the soft apricot sky as it circled like some dark, powerful predator. Suddenly she jumped, as the mobile phone she was clutching tightly in her hand rang, breaking the spell. She answered quickly, pressing it tightly to her ear, so that the shrieks of laughter and the sporadic bursts of ear-splitting music from the rock band that was tuning up in the marquee couldn't be heard on the other end of the line by the director of the African Children's Charity with which she was going to be working. "Yes, fine, thank you, Jack. All ready for tomorrow, I think." The noise persisted, all but drowning out Jack Davidson's voice, and Lily walked quickly across the lawn, away from the party, in the hope of finding somewhere quiet to talk. "Yes, I'm still here," she said loudly. "Sorry, it's a bad line." She kept her head down, focusing all her attention on the voice in her ear. Jack was running through the itinerary for the trip, and the words orphanage and feeding station seemed utterly incongruous in her present luxurious surroundings. She kept walking, rounding the corner of the castle with its massive stone turret, and heading out across the open ground beyond. She had left behind the lush greenness of the formal gardens and was now crossing an area of rough,